Indeed, Minister, all of us know that I have a grow and the Council knows for Irish culture, arts and indeed I'll sit dance every so often. And the impact that the restrictions have had and will have on this sector is frightening. While the health and economic impacts are obvious and the reality of the situation extends way beyond and affects the social and mental health and the engagement between our Irish arts and cultures. Minister, in your opening statement, I noticed you quoted that 14,000 people in the cultural sector had applied for the pandemic unemployment payment. Well, I acknowledge that. There are many people who are unable to get that because they might have another income from a daytime, part-time job and many like that. And of course, the over 66s have been denied everything, everywhere, and many of them go into their late 80s and 90s in this situation with the love and the grow for the tonga, rincagus, the Gaeltacht, Roddy Machine. By its very nature, many actors and music teachers, dance teachers might have a second daytime, as I said, and they need that should be acknowledged. And they should get some kind of a payment. The arts, music and dance offer an outlet to so many young people to express themselves and indeed flourish at a social level. And the abrupt stop to all of this has many impacts. Social media has been brilliant help in this regard, and local radios also. Like other deputies have mentioned, the online concerts and the creations that have been published in the past few weeks have been uplifting, many of them going to raise funds for many, many good causes. One in Clonmel, which was a GoFundMe for the St Mary's Coal Society, a wonderful society there who don't know now how they're going to survive. They still have bills to pay every day in utilities and ESB and heat and light and everything else. And how are they going to operate? Will there be funds for them when they finish? As we approach our summer season, only then will we truly realise the total decimation of our arts industry and events. The necessary, but sad cancellation of festivals, exhibitions, shows, and of course the flower season will be just due to begin in the local rounds in the county and the regional, and indeed culminating in a massive international flower show in late August. Ireland attracts tens of thousands of tourists from all over the world to witness our live music and cultural activities. Places like Brew and Cashel are famed. Kyoto's Dáil Éireann and the summer session shows. Indeed, the EA and the Score, which are unable to go ahead this year, along with the CLRG. And I'd have to mention a place like Jim of the Mills, a renowned old public house that only opens at Gockie Deirdeen in Tipperary, Upper Church. Fabulous sessions, queues out the door, entertained by Jim and his family and the many visitors. And to see the awe and the tourist eyes when they go to places like that. I used to have it in the Tash pub in Graig, no longer with us, but we're losing many of those, so we need to support them. Because last month, the 50th annual World Irish Dancing Championships were due to take place in Dublin, with an estimated €10 million benefit to the Dublin city and surrounding economy. The fair coal season, including in Z County and National, are all cancelled. My own niece, and have to declare an interest, I suppose, Mattie McGrath, runs the music dance school, McGrath School of Dance, based in Coshla and Ashura, in the wider South Tipperary and West Waterford. Your own family, some of them in that area, Minister, and your heritage as well. I'm sure that she's done her best, and like many others, to do virtual classes online. But I'm sure the challenges that comes with this are fairly obvious. The lack of physical engagement makes any practice much more difficult than the same goes for music lessons. It's hard to have a siege of Innis virtually, Minister, or Walls of Limerick, or the Folly, Limeen, or Ruddy Machine, or indeed the old-time waltz. And I won't go for the foxtrot, so we'll end about them for the moment. Irish music and dancing industry in itself, musicians, audiovisual providers, vendors, organisers and teachers, they're all affected. The Commissioner of Gaeltacht has responded to this abrupt cease of activity by setting up a worldwide committee to deal with the unprecedented challenge for Irish dancing. It is not possible to just start where we left off on the 12th of March. That is the problem. The lack of extra cash that families will have have to put into those when things reopen again will be a huge issue too. And I appreciate the monies that you're committing, Minister, to the Arts Council, but we need to ensure that all these supports come through right down to the artists on the ground. They need to, and oftentimes they don't, Minister. And we had problems earlier last year, late last year, with the Gaeltacht culture and the money, Minister, and we weren't too pleased what happened, but thank God it got back on track. Before I finish, I want to pay tribute to a group in my own constituency that are keeping us all, our groups, entertained online during the lockdown. Groups like Gaeltacht, Ballycommon Gaeltacht, and the In Tune for Life Orchestra up in Ballycommon, Aidan O'Donnell and the Music Generation Tipperary, Paul Lafford, of course, the famed Louise Morrissey, who was singing at nursing homes, organised, as I said earlier, by Paddy Doherty, and Paddy Doherty himself, and indeed John Allen for booking it, Superintendent Eddie Golden, Ned Lundigan. They take out the time and sit down in their own rooms, and they have no encores or no call for encores, but they do it and they give it of their heart. It's their culture and heritage, and they espouse that for all of us to see and enjoy. So I want to really, really thank them, and Minister, be hoping that you ensure that the funding will trickle down to the ordinary people on the ground. And
thank you, Deputy Graham. My department provides significant support to Dáil Éireann, and it will continue to do so as well. And we support the sector, but we also have to maintain our focus, obviously, on protecting public health. And